Oh, the recording has started. So welcome everyone. Today we have a presentation and demonstration on using AI for the processing of dealer claims. The goal of today's presentation is to show you an example of how AI can be used to automate these types of processes. So first, some quick housekeeping. Next slide, please. So for everyone, please note that we'll send out the slides to all of you via email after the presentation. In addition, we'll send out the recording soon after that. We are extremely interested in your feedback and your questions. Please don't be shy. And we ask that you consider putting your phones on Do Not Disturb for the duration. I promise we'll be doing our best to offer a lot of value to your organization and to make this well worth your time. With that out of the way, please let me introduce myself and my fellow presenter. We'll have Raghu Ramamurthy, our founder and CEO, introduce us, our technology, and our capabilities here at Rapid Acceleration Partners. Then it will come back to me. I'm Ian Cambrell. I lead the North American sales team. I will be walking you through a day in the life of a claims agent benefiting from AI automation. With that, Raghu, I'll pass it to you.
Sure, Ian. Thanks, Ian. Hi, everyone. I'm Raghu. My focus here at RAP is building AI systems that operate inside extremely complex enterprise environments, especially where workflows are not linear, involve multiple systems, and require human judgment. Dealer and warranty claims are exactly that kind of an environment. And I think what we'll show you today is not just automation for simple tasks, but structured automation for complex, exception-heavy processes. Over to you.
Raghu, are you taking this slide?
Yeah, you can take this one. I'll pick up.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next slide then.
Okay.
You want me to take this one, Raghu?
Yeah. So who are we? Right. Rapid Acceleration Partners, or RAP, is an enterprise platform AI company focused exclusively on manufacturing and distribution. Right. So our mission is simple. Right. Put secure, powerful AI in the hands of operations teams without really disrupting your existing systems or creating new overhead. Right. What really makes us different? Right. We deploy entirely within your environment. No data leaves your infrastructure. Personally, we are great proponents of data sovereignty. Our platform is purpose built for complex manufacturing workflows, especially where different systems like PLM, ERP, CRM, and tribal knowledge are fragmented across the enterprise. And everything we deliver runs on a proprietary tech stack, so no real dependency on external software, which gives you full control and sovereignty over your data again. Right. While our platform is used across industries, a significant portion of our work and our strongest track record has been in manufacturing. Right. Over the past few years, we worked with aftermarket leaders, engineering, procurement, dealer support teams, right? You name it, pretty much every department within manufacturing distribution, helping them automate some of the most painful and revenue critical processes. Right. Some examples could be matching parts across fragmented PLM and ERP systems, speeding up RFQ turnaround time, benchmarking competitor catalogs, automating claim validation, and turning tribal knowledge into smart assistants. Right. What we bring to the table isn't just AI; it's AI applied to real operational bottlenecks that manufacturers deal with every day, and that's where we consistently deliver measurable outcomes. Right. Could be stronger dealer support, faster quoting, cleaner catalogs, and ultimately more revenue with less effort. Next slide, please. So the RAP platform is trusted by some of the world's most respected companies, right? A very, very wide variety of companies from Fortune 500s to small and medium businesses alike, right? Industrial OEMs to aftermarket part suppliers and dealer networks. So you'll see names here from automotive, HVAC, heavy equipment, energy, electronics, right? And that's because our solutions go beyond generic AI. They're grounded in real operational complexity, like we said earlier, with a very specific focus around manufacturing, right? And it's also purpose built to deliver impact quickly. What's common across these customers, across processes that we worked on, is very simply fragmented systems, extremely high process variability, and a lot of manual work that slows down revenue. Right. So we've helped teams turn AI into action without really needing giant digital transformation projects. So here's an example, but because it reflects that complexity that we talked about, right? A global retail conglomerate with dealer and distributor claims, right? The process wasn't linear, just as usually it isn't, but in this case, a lot more complexity, right? The system required data collection from multiple sources, multiple validation logics, dynamic routing, and an approach that was human in the loop, because there is still a lot of collaboration and communication that needed to be done between the retailer, dealer, and distributor teams. Right, so we had to deploy over 70 agents, automating about 350 plus subtasks. Right, but what's important here is not just the scale, but the workflow has to adapt to a wide variety of claim attributes and claim attributes that are not necessarily constant. Right, they keep changing. So, and obviously the human stay in the loop for all complex exceptions. Right. So the outcome that we were able to deliver for them was 5 times faster claims processing and a 25% improvement in what we call as first time resolution, which is essentially reduction in escalations from dealers or distributors. Right. So the complexity did not disappear because we automated. It just became more structured and more predictable in terms of outcomes. Here's another example. Right, this is a Fortune 100 automotive manufacturer where we had to process about 100,000 monthly dealer claims. Volume spikes, right? Extreme manual coordination, a lot of escalations, and then staffing spikes during peak seasons, right? And the solution was not just focused on replacing people with automation, but it was focused a lot more in terms of building predictability and scale into the operation, right? And it had to, the automation had to orchestrate document processing, validation workflows, dynamic approval routing, and then integrating into every system that they had already built, right? And that's exactly what we delivered, right? The outcome, on average, on a monthly basis, we're doing over 100,000 claims being processed, about $360,000 in annual savings, and extremely faster resolution, right? So pretty much any claim that comes through today gets processed today, and that's a big improvement in terms of dealer experience, right? And that's operational maturity that we were able to deliver. So with that, I'll hand it off to Ian, because I know you're all waiting to see a real life demo of what we have to offer, not just the theory of what we've done, but really what can you do practically. Over to you, Ian.
Awesome. Thanks, Raghu. Now we'll be moving on to the technology demonstration, as Raghu said. I'm just going to set a few expectations. Sai, if you can show that next slide. There we go. No, was there another slide before that? There we go. So, yeah. So real quick, what you'll be seeing is you'll see AI using the data associated with a claim to make recommendations very quickly about whether a claim should be approved or not approved. What you'll see is you'll see a human in the loop approach where I'll be playing the part of a claims agent, and I will have my part to play. And you'll also see a full audit trail of everything that happens through the entire process, as well as distinctions about what AI is doing and what I'm doing as an employee. And then next slide. And ultimately, what we hope you see is an environment that allows for fewer escalations of claims to management, an increase in dealers' trust with the claims process, and a team that looks more operationally mature, as well as ultimately just faster. So with that, we'll jump into the interface that we have for one of these sample automations. Great. So again, I'll be an employee at a company called Acme. It's an automotive parts manufacturing company, and I'm working in the claims department. And I'll be showing you a day in the life of a claims agent using an AI solution to quickly move through a claims process. Before we go through our first claim, I'm going to walk you through some of our connections. So I'll show you how our AI is connected to my company's internal systems. We use agent-based connections in our critical to connect to our critical internal databases. So for here at Acme, my company uses SAP as their ERP system, and we have a custom-built warranty management system. We've had these systems in place for almost 20 years, and they contain critical information about our business, our dealers, and our clients. And in addition to that, we also have additional data sources. We have a dealer portal. We have a depository of documents, mostly PDFs, and our engineering ticketing system that AI can access for training and for data searches. These are read-only connections, and they're part of the solution that, ultimately it preempts our employees from spending large amounts of valuable time looking up or researching information needed to complete the claims process well. The time savings have been huge here at Acme, which you'll see why here in a moment. In addition, the connections are in real time, so we're always looking at the most recent information available in those other systems. Okay, so on to the claims. So as a member of the claims management team, I start my day with the claims queue. The first choice here on the left-hand side of the screen gets me to the claims queue. Each claim here instantly, the queue shows me key information for each claim, including the dealer name, the claim type, the value of the claim, and a confidence score for each claim, which a confidence score that I'll explain here in a few minutes. But this view gives me a bird's eye view of all the claims in the queue, so I can quickly assess which ones need attention first and what type of workload I have or that my team has for the day. And before I work through my first claim, I want to show you a quick list of everything AI has accomplished before me as an employee starts to interact. So in the background and even overnight, the system's already reviewed. Bringing up a slide here real quick to give you a quick list of everything AI has been doing. There we go. So in the background and overnight, the system has already reviewed all of the documentation and correspondence that we received from our dealers. AI completed a review of each claim, prepared the queue, and organized all the data so I can flip through it as needed. And I take this quick pause because the nature of AI is that things are going to move very quickly here in the demonstration. And to set further expectations, what we're seeing from our current customers is that it's reasonable to see an 80% across the board savings for claims processing because of all the upfront noise of research and data management in the process has already been done by AI and with a high level of accuracy. So going back into the software system and going back into the queue, popping up. I also want to point out here in the queue, we see a unique confidence score is applied to each claim. So this is an example of AI checking the results of AI. The scores is heavily influenced by the completeness of the documentation, as well as the history of that type of part and even the history of that particular dealer. And the confidence score is part of the feedback loop back to me as a participant, as the employee, so that I have a realistic expectation of how much of my time and focus will be needed for any particular claim that I'm going to review. So today, I'm starting my day as a claims agent, and I'm going to start by sorting the claims by high risk filter here at the top. This allows me to prioritize my approach for the day and get to the most important claims in the queue first. This helps me to get the hot ones out of the way first to keep the dealers happy and everyone moving along. I'm going to choose the claim ending in 847 here. It's a high risk claim from our partners over at Metro Motors. This opens up the claim review interface, a split panel interface with pretty much everything I need to understand first, why is it considered high risk? And secondly, what information do I need to work through the claims process? Having the information instantly on the screen has allowed me to avoid crawling through emails, spreadsheets, or any of the multiple in-house databases that I need to do this correctly, saving significant time for me and my team members. Here in the panel, we see AI has already done all the research. So I first look at the warranty check. I instantly know this particular part has over 800 days left of coverage. And you know, this is quick, easy, and it saves me time from having to go through the warranty database. It's already available to me. I also can see the associated documents associated with this claim. In this case, there is a technical service bulletin. This one lets me know that there's a known defect, which is something critical for me to know as I work through the claims process. In this case, beyond just time savings, AI's reliability means that not only did I find a useful document that's critical to performing my job well, but it also means I didn't miss any documents because AI can quickly review all the documents in the system and find the ones that are appropriate. I now move on to the dealer history. So from here, I see Metro Motors has submitted 312 claims over their lifetime of working with us with a 78% approval rate. But look, 7 claims for the same part in 6 months and 14% repeat issue rate. So this is powerful. I now see why I have an idea of why AI might have flagged this one as high risk. There's a pattern here that may have implications for our costs and our ability to resolve this claim or even resolve future claims. Does it necessarily mean there's a problem? No, not necessarily, but it's a reason to go possibly go look at this pattern and see if there's more to the story. But for this claim, I go ahead and I toggle over to the AI recommendations. What did AI, based on all the information it have available, recommend? So here AI gives a recommendation for each line. It suggests to approve the parts, approve the labor, but reject the freight. As the claims analyst, I can toggle each one. If I disagree, I can override the recommendations, and any overrides I do get logged, for later audits. This allows me to move the claim forward with great speed while also adding the value of my experience. So this is an example of a human in the loop AI automation. The next thing I do is I choose the mail trail button. So AI has consolidated all the emails and given me a complete history of the emails associated with this particular claim. While I'm going to lean on AI to have done a great job of reviewing the emails, and my past experience with this system means AI is pretty much getting everything right every time, my access gives me another type of review so I can build even further certainty. As a participant in the process, if I see anomalies, I can quickly get to the information that led to AI's conclusions. So here I choose the first email. This opens the email without me having to go back to Microsoft Outlook or another email screen. And that makes email review quick and easy. And I can even flip through the other emails to see if there's anything that suggests that further review is needed or that there's any anomalies in the process. I can also go to the Documents tab. This gives me access to all the associated documents for this claim. In this case, there's a repair order, there's a diagnostic report, and there's photos of the failed part. All of this information located in one easy to use interface. And because I never have to leave the screen, I'm saving a lot of time and things are moving quickly. I'm now going to move the process of, I'm going to go through the process of approving each item in the claim and completing the final documentation as needed. So I use the review and decide button to make my final decisions. This is not for our company at Acme, it's not a universal approve or reject. Each line item is going to get its own decision. For parts, I choose approved, and that was informed by the defect bulletin that was presented to me. I choose approved for the labor as it's within our standard range, and per the AI recommendation, I reject the freight as it's not covered by the warranty for this part. I see how much has been approved in dollars and cents, as well as the value of the rejected amount. Then my final decision is submitted with every line item, every reason timestamped and logged for future reference as needed. So that's an example of moving through the claims process using our AI interface. And I'm going to take a moment to show you some of the other capabilities we have in here. So I'm going to jump over to the dealer profiles. So this section allows me to review metrics on all of my dealers. In this case, I have 12 dealers in our system that we work with. This gives me useful information like total number of claims from that dealer, approval rates, average resolution time per claim, and how many repeat claims. By understanding the behavior of different dealers, it allows us to give better service to them. It allows us to look proactively for ways to deal with any recurring issues, and we better communicate with them as a team. I also want to show you the rules and policies area. So this is primarily an administrative, an admin area for maintaining the system, but it's where we can see settings for specific warranty rules set by our company. Now, in this case, I'm not an administrator, so I'm in read-only mode, but it's still valuable for me to be able to go in and see what rules and policies we have in place. Having universal settings allows my team to work within our standards consistently across the entire team, no matter which of our dealers we're dealing with. But also, I can review these standards when I need to, as a way to just keep up or remind myself in case I have to have a discussion with one of our dealers. So another area I'd like to review is the audit and history of this claim. So I'm probably not looking at audit and history every day as a claims agent, but the audit logs are maintained automatically for all events in the claim process and available whenever we need them. This makes it easy for us to review the history, and if there are any questions from the dealer, or if my company needs to complete a holistic review of activities, across an entire product line or a specific dealer over time, or across our entire business, we can use that information to look for cost savings or improve our standard operating procedures. And with that, one last area I'd like to demonstrate is an AI chat interface. So the AI chat allows me to interact with the same data that we've been interacting with the entire time from all those connected databases that we've been using, but allows me to approach the data in a more free-form approach. In this case, I want to have a conversation about which of our dealers have the highest repeat issue rates, and then it gives me an immediate feedback that we can use for internal discussions or planning. This allows me to work outside the standard workflows to gather data in a unique way that may not be possible just working through the standard interface. This is especially useful for team members who have become nimble at using some of the general pre-trained AI systems that are popular out on the internet today. So it's the same type of free-form chat window that many of us may already be familiar with. The only difference is this is not a general information AI. This is a domain-specific AI that is an expert only on my company's intellectual property, proprietary information, and our data. So with that, that's our demonstration today. Thank you for your attention. I hope we helped to spark some ideas for how your company can collapse your process for claims warranties or similar processes. If you would like to know more about what we at RAP can do for your organization, certainly let us know. And to give you an idea of a common process for how we work with our clients, there's essentially 4 steps. We start with a consultation so that our team members can gather information about your unique environment and what you see as your unique challenges. We evaluate the process for all the opportunities that we think there are for you to save time, decrease time to market, and or increase the quality of your process. And then we share those insights back to you, typically a week later in a sort of a Rev A proposal. So for clients who decide to move forward, it's not unusual to have a first solution in place as quickly as 8 weeks from kickoff. And part of the reason, some of the reasons, we can move so quickly is, we've been doing this for many years, both with and without AI. Of course, our core AI technology and our AI engine allows us to develop things in ways we couldn't before. And in addition, we use AI ourselves as part of actually building these AI systems. So with that, we'll open it up to questions and answers. If you have not already, feel free to use the chat to submit questions, and we'll take a moment here to let those populate. And then Sai, you can lead us through some of those questions.
One question, which is, I'll go ahead and pop that question. What happens when AI auto approves a claim it shouldn't have? So that's a great question. I think every auto approved claim also has a confidence score and a full audit trail, right? So if we find that a pattern emerges that auto approvals for either a specific dealer or a specific type of a claim starts spiking, the system can flag it retrospectively. So, for example, how many manual approvals happen at a certain time, right, and things like that. So the confidence score is really our indicator, right? So if we find that anything below a confidence score is ones that should not be auto approved, that's a threshold that we would set to ensure that anything beyond a certain confidence score doesn't get approved, gets popped to a human. So that way we avoid any claims that are auto approved, which should otherwise not have been approved. Okay. There's one more question. So what happens during such a transition? We cannot really afford any downtime. That's actually a pretty good question again. So there is really no transition, right? The existing systems and processes keep running untouched, right? What we do is we have what we call as a cutover period where we let the AI do it alongside a human without really doing the auto approvals, right? And then once we have the parallel run, right, it's a very seamless transition over to the AI. So really there is no, it's just that think of it as the first 10% of requests get moved to the AI from the human, then the next 10%, then the next 10%, and so on. So it's almost like a very managed, structured cutover. So there is no real hard cutover date that says, okay, we just go back over the weekend, come back, and then now from today the AI started doing it. So it's something that is very seamless. Okay, and it's only an overlay process. So even if something were to happen and you had to turn it off tomorrow, the existing process is completely unaffected, and there would be no disruption. I guess that's all we have for today. Don't see any
All
more
right.
questions. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for answering those, Raghu. Thanks for everybody who attended. We'd love to hear from everybody who joined us today. And as we said at the beginning, we will get busy sending out the slide deck and the recording here in the next 24 hours. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.